Hello, hello, hello. This is late to the party news because this is how much I don't care about things. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It popped up on my timeline. I think it's Facebook. Is that not Facebook? Do you use Facebook? Does anyone use social media anymore? Ping. Does anyone use social media anymore? But yeah, you can just show how little I care about anything because last month, yeah, nearly a month ago, November the 13th, a story appeared on Rolling Stone, which completely, again, I'm subscribed to these places, and you get the feeling that nothing works anymore. But anyway, I'm jibber jabbering around at my own lateness. But yeah, apparently, yes, I've done it again. And this amuses me greatly. I don't know why it amuses me, but it amuses me. Yes, this is again. This is the headline. Yes, Steve Howe sued for copyright infringement over Dare to Know. Um, you're thinking, oh, many of you probably already know the story and have gone. Probably shouting at your screen, Darren, catch up! You're so behind the times. You're right, but this amused me, and it gave me a reason to turn on the camera because it gives me something to talk about. But yeah, apparently one of John Davison's old bandmates, a guy called Riz Story, is suing them because one of his songs, a song titled Reunion, which is featured on a movie that he's involved with called A Winter Rose from 2014, he believes is directly quoted on the song Dare to Know from the album The Quest. That was the one that was released in 2021. Again, listening to both of them, you can go and check it out. It's out there. You can go and check it out. Both pieces do kind of share this lilting, descending motif, and yeah, there's a similarity, an audible similarity. It will be up to the musicologists to decide whether it's is it plagiarism or copyright infringement. It'll be up to them to decide. But again, it's one of those grey areas where melodies, certain melodies, you can be borrowed if you're playing on a scale and it's very similar to the Led Zeppelin Spirit case. Now, I always thought that Spirit had a good chance of winning that, but the musicologists managed to convince the judge that no, Led Zeppelin own that motif. So I'm not going to pass judgment on this because I was wrong about that. Because again, things can be audibly similar, but according to musicologists, quite different. Even if you transpose it or play it in a different time signature, it turns the tune into a different thing, apparently. Even though if you played them back to back, you would go, oh, yeah, they're very similar. But anyway, that's beside the point. Story's taken this action because of this song, and again, Davison has put out a statement, and their statement's been put out denying such things have happened, denying that this is the instance, that this is the case. Now, again, the problem with this is a lot of these musicians, bands ain't what they used to be, are they? Have you noticed that? Bands ain't what they used to be. And again, with Yes, a lot of the people in Yes, with the exception of Steve Howe, have worked with other people over the years, many other people. And so there will be a bit of a crossover melodically, wouldn't there? There will be a bit of cross fertilization, cross pollination when you work with other people. You may have similar ideas, or there may be a thing that this person's done. And now, again, we must remember that there's been a history of this. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember? Do you remember when Jeff Downs pulled out a tape from his tape box and used it as the basis of the Ice Bridge, which basically was Francis Monkman's The Dawn of an Era from his Energism album from 1978. And everybody, we did videos on that then. Do you remember? Do you remember we did videos about that then? And this is what happens when, again, I think Jeff Downes was involved with library music, and that's how the mix-up happened. I'm going to say it was a mix-up because that's the official line, mix-up. It was the money was just resting in the bank account. It was one of those kind of things where it's just a mix-up. But anyway, subsequently, Francis Monkman was credited for that piece of music, and everything was fine because Francis Monkman didn't take, again, they knew each other, and so they didn't need to go into litigation. Englishmen, we will settle this over a cup of tea and some cucumber sandwiches because we're Englishmen. We don't need litigation. A firm handshake and a smile is all we need to solve our problems. Whereas Americans, I'll see you in court. So I'm not saying, yes, I've got a history of this. I kind of am. But this is what happens when you work with lots of different people, lots of different irons in the fire, and time passes. And so here we are again. And yes, again, it's the same album, that album, The Quest. 2 songs from that album have been subject to, do I use the plagiarism word? It seems so crude because I don't want to upset Yes. They've blocked me on Facebook. Does it matter? Does any of this matter? It's all rather amusing. But it's going to go to court, and there will be musicologists assigned to prove or disprove who or what or how these things have happened. So yeah, it's an amusing story. It tickled me. For it to happen once would be an accident. Twice, I don't know. But I think it's probably down to people working with lots of different people, and sometimes themes and melodies, come back. And not like the tape mix-up. That was just an accident. That was just an accident. So there you go. It tickled me. Why didn't you guys mention it? Why? I guess you're as apathetic about Yes as I am. And yeah, do go and check it out though. Do go and check it out. It's quite interesting. There are other videos from people who are a bit more with it than I am. I'm late to the party. I'm like, I've given up, haven't I? Given up. But it amused me to see the band going through it all over again. Here's a tip, lads. Why don't you start like doing your own ideas? You see, when Yes formed, they were young men who hadn't, they'd only played with each other. Misses, mind you, it is Christmas. And now, like I say, when you get all these other people in, there's bound to be an overlap with other projects that they've done. John Anderson, again, if you look at John Anderson, the way he does it, he points to was it ABWH album? On that, there are some things that he worked with other people, and you see it in the credits. The credits can be quite long. Vangelis on one of the tracks. Anderson, he takes note of who he's worked with, and so if things are reused, recycled, very green, then those people get a proper credit. Whereas I think, who knows what this is and what this is about. Again, I do not want to get myself into trouble. I'm sure it's purely an accident, and the tape was in the wrong box on both counts. It was a pure accident, or not, as the case may be. But there you go. Lightning strikes twice. Lightning strikes. That's a good name for a song. Yes, could do a song called Lightning Strikes, couldn't they? But yeah, it strikes again, and I have to keep an eye out. See who is in the right and who is in the wrong. It's a funny old world, isn't it? Anyway, thank you for watching. Just a tiny little video because, like I said, I'm late to the party. It was it was yeah, it amused me. It's like, oh blimey, it's happened again. Fancy that. But yeah, these things do drag on though, so I can imagine that it's one of those court cases that could take a long time to settle itself because the Spirit Led Zeppelin one, God, went on for decades, didn't it? Went on for years. And I always thought, Spirit had a very good chance with that because, but again, descending patterns, they're just patterns. You can't copyright a pattern, or maybe you can. Who knows? All right, thank you for watching. That was just a little video. That's it. Prog on.